Happy Wednesday, or Hump Day as they call it, and thank you for tuning in to another video of Life Talks. What I'd like to talk about today is the passion of failing. I'll give you guys a couple seconds to soak that one in. 1, 2, yeah. I know it sounds like a paradox, it sounds like an oxymoron, but I'll elaborate. It's kind of the whole idea anyway, is elaboration. What I mean by the passion of failing is, let's say that you're in a contest of something, for something, and you're always succeeding, you're always winning, you're bulldozing, everything's just cake, everything is just downhill, everything's just a green light. You know what? Even though that can be satisfying to an extent, there are times where that can get boring, can get too easy. It doesn't become a challenge if there's always a green light, right? Well, let's say you finally hit that wall, that speed bump, that plateau. You finally fail. And it can be deflating. And no matter how much discipline you have, no matter how much experience you have at failing, it can still be deflating, especially when you've been succeeding for a long, long time and you finally hit a speed bump. Like, for example, since the gyms opened back up, I started at a certain weight and I worked my way back up to where I was at, and then I even got past where I was at since before the gyms closed. I was on a roll for 2 months. My strength was going up. I couldn't be stopped. And all of a sudden, just yesterday, I hit a speed bump, hit a plateau, hit a roadblock. I failed. Tried to bench press 360, failed. And like I said, no matter how much discipline you have and how much experience you have at failing, failures can still be deflating. They can still give you a punch to that gut. It's still a bummer. But, however, this is where there can be passion in failing, and that is you look to find ways around those roadblocks, make some adjustments, and even if it takes time, well, that's going to happen. It's sometimes going to take time and patience. So yeah, it might take me another few weeks to, get past that plateau I was talking about. But one thing I've learned about failing and the passion of it is that when I finally did succeed at it, after failing at it a couple times or a bunch of times, and I finally got it, I finally got past that roadblock, that plateau, it's like I could have canceled Christmas. It's like I didn't need Christmas. It was like being born again. I finally got it. I finally succeeded. So when I attempted again in a few weeks, that same weight, that same obstacle, try to overcome that challenge, and I do finally, it's going to feel great. That's why failure can be a good thing. Maybe not at first, it might not feel like it. But later on, you sure will feel the euphoria. How does it go? There's a quote. I heard it from a WWE pro wrestler. His name is Shawn Michaels, someone I looked up to. He said, "The harder the climb, the sweeter the victory." So which means the harder you're trying to succeed at something, the better that success is going to feel. The more euphoric it's going to feel. Versus where if it was easy, because like I said, for the 2 months that I was at the gym when it first opened up, my strength was going up every week. It was starting to become a given, and then it was starting to even become boring, even though, I liked having these numbers, this progress, these results. It was, part of it was starting to get boring. Liked it, but another part of it was boring. But I failed at it yesterday, and now I can't wait to get past this new obstacle. I can't wait to succeed. So I'm going to enjoy the journey while it lasts, make adjustments, look back at what I might have did wrong, what I could do differently, and then I'll get there again. Because I notice there's a lot of people who have certain failures, certain drawbacks in their life, just so deflating they can't inflate again. They feel like they can't get that air back in their lungs. They can't get that passion, that fire, that drive back. You're not expected to get it right away, like 2 seconds after the failure or 2 seconds after the devastating moment that you might have gone through. You're not going to necessarily have that same passion right away. You got to build back up to that. But don't give up is the main end game, is not giving up. Just a mild setback for right now. That's inevitable. Happens to the best of us. So don't be ashamed. Feel proud of yourself that you are willing to stay in the game despite the failure, despite the drawback. Feel proud of yourself that it's not going to stop you. If anything, it's going to push you to work harder next time, and it's going to push you to go after that obstacle more. It's like throwing a few gallons of gas in your fire. Figuratively speaking, because if you did that literally, I don't know, I wouldn't want to be there. I'd have to be a couple miles away if you were going to do that, literally, but no. But no, seriously though, let failure drive you. Let it drive you to succeed at what you're trying to succeed at, which you might have failed at over and over, maybe even just once, maybe 1,000 times. Let it drive you. Let it push you to keep going at it. Let it be fuel to your fire. I'm telling you, once you do succeed at it, if you hang in there, don't give up, oh man, best feeling ever. Or at least up there with going to Chuck E. Cheese's as a kid, or going to Disney World, or being around some legit people. In that ballpark. But my point is, you're going to love it. So just remember, that's my idea about the passion of failing. Is letting that failure drive you to succeed. Let it motivate you. Let it teach you that there are maybe a couple adjustments you can make. Because no one's perfect. We always can learn new things about anything. Even if we're incredibly good at it and talented at it, we can always learn new things about our passions, our skills, us in general. So, and that's what failure teaches us. It's its way of sneaking in, and saying, hey, there's a couple things you missed here. Take a peek at this, So, just remember, failure is not the end. If anything, it might just very well be the beginning. Or at least I like to look at it like that. Failure is not the end, but the beginning. Beginning to a new you, a better you, stronger you. And you know what? I think that's all there is to it. I think I covered the ground. If I missed a spot, I didn't notice. Anyway, I'll keep these videos coming as best I can. I am working round the clock furiously every week to try to find something to talk about, try to find something to instill. So it's euphoric to me. Try to put things like this out there. So I hope you guys can use it in your everyday life, because it can be a cruel world out there. Life can be terrible. Life can suck. Life is way too unfair, I think. But that's why I like to try to step in and maybe give you a few tools to how to handle that unfairness, how to help swim with those sharks that bite hard, by the way. Anyway, you guys take care. Have a good rest of your week, and yeah, that'll do it. Thank you.